Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Here we go again. Pigpen just flying in here at the last minute, dropping stuff, throwing stuff. Did you just knock
Yes.
Whoa, you knocked the microphone off the stand.
I tried to move the microphone and the whole thing fell.
Yeah, well, that happens in the land of radio. And you just, man, what are you doing over
I'm
there?
trying to fix it, but wow, pretty crazy.
I don't know.
You help me out and talk for a minute while I fix this.
You are going to town over there.
It came unscrewed, the whole thing. It
Wow.
was crazy.
Well, you know, we're off to a banging start.
Yeah, luckily Alex is going to help me.
Prevent Talent here on WBGZ Radio. Brought to you by Halpin Music Company. And Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. And by Pigpen's broken microphone.
I don't think it's going to work anymore.
I think you should just hold it like when you're a rock star.
Yeah, I'll do it, man.
All right.
Oh, hey. It's just about there. Look at there. Okay, I'm not going to touch it now. Man, so right now, we've got a guest, Eric Hensley, in the studio. He's a first-time guest, and right now he's going, what did I get into? This guy,
No, not at all.
The whole place is falling apart before I get to say hello. No, hey, welcome to radio, man, live radio.
Oh, this is live?
Yeah, this is live radio.
Okay.
So all that stuff that just happened, normally we'd edit that if this was pre-recorded, but not. It's
I'm just kidding. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks so much for being here, and welcome to our discombobulated show.
I think my microphone's working just fine.
Excellent.
Yeah,
hey,
you did good.
I was very discombobulated. You said thanks to Matt and Halpin.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
And you just did too, so.
Well, then, now we can get on with it. I just want to make sure we thank those folks for sponsoring us. So,
And I thank you, too, for causing all that noise and making just such a fabulous, banging introduction to the show.
I'm trying to get people's attention.
That's the best start of the show ever. I think. I mean, you know. Well, you know, whether we want to admit it or not, we're all old punk rockers in this room.
Absolutely.
And we've grown up.
That's what makes us old punk rockers. Oldest living juvenile right here.
Right.
So
So you mentioned Eric Hensley's here. Now we'll talk about who Eric Hensley is for the folks that don't know. He used to be in Autumn Clock.
everybody knows that.
Right.
Who in Alton doesn't know that?
Well, there's some people that, you know, are new to the show and new to the scene. I mean, you know, because when we start looking at our age group and then go, let's go back how many years? I mean, that's a lot of different people that could be listening right there.
Oh, yeah, so Autumn Clock. But now, currently, you play with Hands and... or not.
No.
Names and Titles.
Names and Titles.
I started to say the wrong name. I actually love that name, Names and
Oh,
Titles.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's,
Thank you.
It's like, what are we? We're Names and Titles.
I wish I had an interesting story of how it came to be.
Yeah.
But for a while, I think for a long time, I was writing a lot of songs quicker than I could title them. So I had this idea. I mean, it's a common idea for people is to just write down list of titles, names and titles, and write the song later on.
Yeah.
To match the title. Anyway, that's the story. That's the story.
You start with a working title, then write the song, and then
Exactly.
go back and give it a real title.
Because a song, you know, the title's sometimes the first thing you may hear about. Yeah. So you look on the back of the MP3,
Right? Right in the liner notes.
and you read the MP3 liner notes.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And okay, yeah. Now, if Autumn Clock didn't make me old, looking back on CDs.
Well, you can dig into some MP3s and find information, but who does that? Right?
It's not, and I'm like you say, all the information that used to be on the old CDs and the albums is probably embedded in an MP3. But there was something about buying an album and opening it and reading it as you listen to it for the first time and checking out. I don't know. It was a ritualistic thing to get a new album. All the steps you have to go through to appreciate it.
I agree. But also, there's nothing like, you know, most young people have no money. And when suddenly everything became available on the internet, I got to tell you, it's a great time to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I buy records. I buy music.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to interview years ago the guys from the Grateful Dead and talking to them about letting fans record their albums. They just recorded an album and somebody paid them money, and now they let the fans record it for free.
Yeah.
And they said, well, Jerry told us we can't charge the kids for the money. We can charge them for lunch boxes and T-shirts and things with our name on it, but the music should be free. And I always thought that is the most righteous attitude about music that you. And you're right, in the modern era, type it into your computer. You can listen to it, man.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, I guess I shouldn't be condoning. No, I'm talking about Spotify. It's
all
whatever.
of that stuff. All of it, man.
The capability of someone anywhere in the world listening to a song you created right here in Alton, Illinois, in your basement.
Oh, yes.
I mean, for us, is outstanding because back when we started doing this, when we made our cassettes,
right.
Yeah.
it would take 2 or 3 years to get your thing listened to in Germany somewhere. I mean, seriously. By the time you sent it by mail and, you know, got a reply and, who knows where it's been, for the last 2 weeks.
And to find out somebody from across the country, like, listen to, that's still a thrill.
It is a neat, I mean, the technology is amazing. And once again, to bounce back to that Grateful Dead thing, not to keep doing that, but that was another thing I asked them about was, hey, how'd the record companies feel? They said, well, they hated us, And they literally told them after 2 albums on their own label, we won't put it in the record store. They blacklisted them, so they had to go back to a main record label to get the record sold, even though they were huge.
Sure.
But now it's all different. The great distribution is what they still had on them. No matter how popular you are, how could you distribute it in the past? You can now.
I don't pretend at all to know how money is made in music because I've only lost money.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've been satisfied.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, truly, I don't know.
Exactly.
I have no clue how people make a lot of money.
I asked that question, how does this happen? I do not expect it to happen, ever, but I see it happens. Even plays sometimes, it's like, wow, 50,000 plays, that's impressive. I got like 15. I'm happy. I'm happy for 15.
I truly...
Do you ever wonder, I wonder about this a lot, about rock bands that may have had a little bit of success, and then you imagine, okay, what are they doing now? And you just can't imagine them working a job.
Kinko's. Yeah.
Like, no way.
Yeah.
He was my rock star. I hope I never. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my mind can't imagine my rock star heroes.
Right.
One day having to get a regular job.
Absolutely. I used to love to jam out on the Urge, and now I can go have Steve Ewing make me a hot dog. It's awesome, really. I mean, it's cool, man.
No, it's how it should be, honestly.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And it should. I wish it was the same way with like politics, man, where they just came and went, and then they had to go back to Kinko's after they were the president or whatever. It would be great.
Wait, maybe all old rock stars are lobbyists.
Possibly.
Maybe.
We got someone calling us?
Yeah,
there's
someone calling, and I just get the itch to take a call every time I see that light up. They probably are not planning on calling in, though.
No, they're trying to reach the front desk.
We got to find out.
I'm just glad you said it's the phone.
Let's
I thought my
see.
brain synapses
Let's
were
just
popping.
see who it is. Come on, it's so much fun.
Do it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, man. See, we waited too long.
They were listening. When they were listening, they're like,
I know that guy.
They would have won the money if they'd have just hung on.
that was our first caller of the day, and our first caller today was the day we were giving $1 million away.
And now we're not going to do it because
the
we already had a caller.
Yep, we already got
Dang.
it. So.
That goes quick.
You guys are tough.
It's like the big money you make in rock and roll. It just
you
comes
posed,
and goes.
You posed the question about how do you make money in rock and roll. I believe after all these years of looking at it, I figured it out. You have to be an agent, a manager, or work for a record label. But you can't play music and make money. You have to do one of those other things, I believe. I don't know.
We can't generalize it because what we have to say is original music.
There you go.
Because you can make money playing in the wineries every weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Here. You got to play other people's songs, but there are jobs available to make money
Oh,
playing
I guess
music, So, I mean,
I guess I just was more speaking about when a band gets so large.
Exactly.
Like, at what point do they get to quit their jobs? Because sometimes you hear about, like, there's a band called Buffalo Tom. You familiar with them? But he talked about this, and I think they had a song even in the top 10 at one point. But he said, he's a real estate agent now. And he was like, I don't get how some people can continue to, live a rock and roll lifestyle. But
Well, the band I think of is Uncle Tupelo, right?
Yeah.
Still making a living doing that stuff, right? The whole
Well-
time he's made a living, right? He didn't have to have a different job, did he? I mean, once he got to a certain level,
well, there was two guys in
right?
Uncle
Two guys,
Tupelo.
right? And both of them, in
Wilco,
Yeah.
I'm sure is doing just
right,
fine.
Yeah.
right.
I'm actually. Oh gosh, we shouldn't be talking about this on the air. Is this live?
It is
Yes,
totally
this is
live.
live, man.
I'm sure they're both doing fine. I don't want to talk about
Yeah, no, no.
anyone's personal, financial.
But you got to kind of
sure
relate
they're
it to
doing
somebody
fabulous.
nearby. REO Speedwagon, they would have made some money, right?
Oh, I think they're probably fine, right? They don't.
Or
need
was it
jobs
just
anymore.
one guy that managed them that made all the money,
yeah.
and the rest of them
There-
are
Oh,
broke?
Jim
There you go.
Speedwagon.
Right,
I
Jim.
know.
Yeah.
He's got all the money.
Jim Speedwagon owes me $20 to this day from 19. No, I don't know. I got no idea.
Right.
But what did Steve Scorfino when he was on with us
Right.
talking about REO? He said, had I stayed in REO Speedwagon, I probably would have lots of money. But he's still just playing music for a living, even though he quit back in '73 or whatever it was.
Right.
So it can be done.
And I'm also generalizing that everyone needs a regular 9-to-5
Right.
job. I mean,
Right, yeah.
you play guitar the rest of your life.
Yeah,
really,
and
you know.
if you're willing to eat hot dogs warmed
Ex-
over
yeah.
sterno, because that's how when I made my
Right.
living off music, I
Right.
ate hot dogs warmed over
Yeah.
sterno that I took from the Cafe La Rose after work.
I think there's something to be said about knowing how to live poor.
Yeah.
That will
go a
that
long
will
way.
help- go a long way.
A long way.
Right.
If you don't mind
If
eating
you're not
blueberry
scared.
pie filling out of a can for
Right,
dinner,
right.
and you're okay with that.
Where I got my taste for caviar young in my life.
Right.
yeah.
On toast.
on toast. Could I have some of your finest
Well, you had to
caviar?
cut back somewhere.
Right. Oh man! Hey, should we talk about what's going on?
Yeah, we should.
Thursday, because we're going to talk to Eric. The whole an hour's going to go by, and all we will have talked about is who's making some money in this game.
How much money can you make?
Right.
Dozens and dozens of dollars, I believe, can be made in the rock and roll game.
And we still got Marion Gilson to talk to from the
Oh, I
back
know.
bar. So we got to get rolling.
She's listening right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Marion.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm sorry, real quick. This only takes a
Mama
second.
Marion. Right?
Yeah,
I
you
need to
gotta
shout out
Yeah.
to the East Alton Middle School 8th grade class. I told them I was going to be on tonight.
Okay.
And there's my shout out. Great group of
8th
people
grade.
down there.
Eighth
Middle
grade?
school.
8th grade, East Alton Middle
East.
School.
East.
There you
East
go.
Alton.
East Alton. Okay. East Alton.
Bullets.
There you go.
The
The,
bullets.
bullets.
The bullets.
Ooh.
Just like all them records you make on the charts with a bullet.
Number one with a bullet. Number one in climbing. So
All right, so it is the Thursday night in the Riverbend and the Sea Santee sing-alongs going on at Morrison's Irish Pub, the open mic down at Germania Brew House, and at the Raging Cajun Piano Bar tonight, and DJ Denise Dwayne Williams down at Bossa Nova.
DJ Josh is going to be at the back bar in Edwardsville. We're going to be talking to Marion Gilson from the back bar here real soon. Got Corey Evans at the Stagger Inn again in Edwardsville this evening. Philip Russo, 6 p.m. at George's Local Brew up in Jerseyville.
Right, Jason McAtee and friends out at Baker's and Hale at 6 o'clock, and then Andrew Sevener, 7 p.m. at the Hog Pit up in Grafton. DJ Tommy's Karaoke Circus at 8 p.m. at the Third Shoots. You know, he's coming in to be interviewed with us.
talking to him tonight,
Right, so you're
yeah.
going to have to get him out of here by 8. He's got a job to do. Just saying. Pass that along to you. I didn't let you know before the show. So.
We're going to have to hurry that interview. Hey, man, talk quick, buddy. Now, anyway, that's great. So there's your Thursday night in the Riverbend area. If you think there's nothing going on, what we just listed? A dozen things going on a Thursday
That's
night.
nothing.
So.
I mean, I've got, four more pages of stuff we're
We'll
going to
cover
talk
the
about.
weekend.
So, yeah.
We'll cover the weekend.
Yep, the homecoming's going on this weekend is one of the things we'll talk about. So, and you brought up Steve Ewing. He'll be there. So,
Excellent.
yeah,
Excellent. Love
great
to see-
segue, by the way, since
love
you
to
knew
see-
that.
I did know that. I love to see Steve Ewing play.
But now we will take a break. We'll check in with Marion Gilson from the back bar in Edwardsville. She'll tell you how to get a gig there, which
Yep.
is always cool.
Yep.
And what
Tell
they're
us a little
doing.
bit. She'll tell us a little bit about her personal story, and
It's
how
a
she
neat
ended up
story,
as the owner.
that's
Yeah.
for sure. So stay tuned to that, and we'll be back with more Eric Hensley here in a little bit. We're going to be talking about Songwriters on the Round, taking place at Jacoby's on September 14th.
There you go. That's like
So-
the fourth or fifth one. They've
Yeah, it's a
they
really
keep
cool
doing
thing.
them. Yeah, it's a fabulous idea.
I think we should all grow beards for that.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm down. I've already got to start, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm going to at least get started right now.
We will be back with Marion Gilson after this on Riverbend Talent, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. Back with more here on Riverbend Talent.
With Dennis Laird and Pigpen.
More Riverbend Talent here on the Big Z. I'm Dennis, Pigpen with me, and joining us from the Back Bar in Edwardsville, Marion Gilson.
Gilson.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Marion.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
The owner of the Back Bar. This is your first bar ownership, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you've thought about it a few times, and you finally pulled the trigger.
Yes, I did.
Under duress, maybe, but you did it.
Yeah, no choice, but it's okay.
So this is the Back Bar. For people who don't know, it's sort of behind the back part of Lori's. So if you were looking at the old Lori's bar, it would be just behind that.
Yeah.
Sort of down an alleyway, as Dennis describes it. And you worked at Lori's for 15 years, and when they closed down, you said, I'm going to do it. My turn. My time to shine.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
so for the folks that are just tuning in wondering, is that Mama Marion on there?
She introduced me to my wife, man.
It is.
She got me my first drunk.
Yeah, seen a lot of them.
Cleaned up my second puke. My first one she missed. No.
Pulled me out by my ear.
Right. Held my hair up over the night. Yeah. The life you've lived. That's some backstory you've got, Marion.
That's why it's called the Back Bar.
Nice.
But a legendary bar in Edwardsville started out a long time ago, Spanky's. A lot of people remember that.
I never got to don the door of Spanky's, but I very clearly remember hearing commercials for the parties going on at Spanky's whenever I was too young to go. Probably on like KWK or something like that. One of the old radios. And man, I thought that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Never got to go. But
Back in the 70s.
Marion, you went.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I did.
Yeah. And that's how you got interested in Edwardsville, right?
Well,
Sort of?
we came to Edwardsville just for Spanky's, yeah.
you drove from Belleville?
All the way from Belleville.
That's a long trek.
It sure
Especially
was.
before 255 was there to make it quick. You know?
Yeah.
That was the place to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
so that got your interest in Edwardsville. You eventually moved here, I guess. Huh?
Right, I did, yeah. I was still working in St. Louis, though.
I see.
Lori's was the first full-time job I had in Illinois.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Yeah.
And before it became Lori's, in between Spanky's and Lori's, it was Tommy's.
Tommy's,
So some
yeah.
people might remember it as Tommy's.
Yeah, and he is actually was a customer at Lori's and a customer at the Back Bar. Yeah,
Still coming back to the old stomping grounds.
yeah.
Nice. And so from Spanky's to Tommy's to Lori's to the Back Bar.
Yeah.
That's where we sit today.
Right. But the story is a little bit deeper than that because here's a person who was working in the bar and the bar closed. And now it's like, what am I going to do? Right? Just like anyone who's lost their job. You're sitting there going, oh my gosh, everything I had is gone now. I wonder if I could start my own bar, crosses your mind. You said for the third time now you've thought, well, maybe I should
Came
start.
close to other times. I've done this all my life, whether it was a manager, Red Lobster, and got in the bar business and loved it. But it always fell through.
Yeah.
But
And what a big decision to make because, I mean, you've been behind the scenes. You see how much it takes, and you know how big a step it is to put that all on your back now.
oh, I thought I was crazy once I did it.
Right. And so the building's sitting there quietly, resting, waiting for someone, and what'd you do?
We give it a full facelift.
Yeah?
It's been painted, new floors, new everything. The
Yeah.
only thing, have you ever heard all she left was the kitchen sink? That is the honest truth. The only thing left in that bar was the sink.
And that's because it was too hard to change.
So you knew the owner of the bar. So you called him up once Lori's closed, the building.
Yeah.
And then and you asked him if he would lease it to you, I guess?
Yeah, I said, instead of leaving this sit here empty, would you be willing to lease it to me? And he was willing. Here I am.
And once you walked in that building, well, how'd you feel at that moment?
I asked myself, what did I do here?
Yeah.
I have a picture of my mom. My mom had passed away the year before I lost my job. And I have a picture of my mom. I point to the left because that's where she's at. And I sat and cried to her many times during that year. It took a year to open the place. It
Yeah.
wasn't easy.
A year of working on the building before
One-
anyone comes in.
1 week shy of
Shy
a
of
year.
a year. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you had a pretty good idea before you called up the owner of the building that it was going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it kind of surprised him when he showed up on
Yeah.
how much work you were talking about.
Right.
So that's a pretty big task to take on right there.
Yeah.
Not only start your own bar, but completely refurb the entire building.
Yeah. Well,
That's a
to
big building.
refurbish a building takes time and money. And so that's a year of money going out.
We did a
out.
lot. All the painting we did ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we did a lot of work ourselves. I was very fortunate to have customers that were customers of Lori's that came in and helped me.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
It's
sure
unreal.
there was a lot of those folks who felt like they were losing their place.
They lost their home.
Yeah.
That's how people were stealing bricks out of the building
Wow.
when it closed down. That place has
Wow.
just been a
It's a
bar
legend, yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
It's been there for years. You know.
Right.
Long
So
time.
so here we go. Time to fix up the building, and now you've got it open, and you're booking the bands and
Yeah.
Well, hold
hiring
on.
all the help.
Hold
and-
on, let's take a step back on that booking bands because I love the fact that you didn't cancel the bands that Lori had booked through the year. You just said, you know what, you guys, she promised you this job. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep her promise for her.
For all this year, from
For
the
all
time
this
I
year,
opened
yeah.
to the end of this
And
year. I
instead of
booked-
just canceling all the ones she had, you said we're gonna do it. We're
Well,
gonna
they
keep-
lost their job,
Yeah.
so their gig was canceled
Their
for
gig
a year.
was canceled officially, right? But then you just
right.
rehired them for that same gig.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet way to go about it. Instead of just going, that's not my problem.
Well, I lost my job too, you know.
Right,
So
right. Empathy.
they were in the same position I was.
Yeah, but I really like the fact that you kept them all on because it would have been easy to go, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. We're the back bar. We're not Lori's. But that's great because now those musicians who were counting on those gigs got the gigs.
Well, a lot of those musicians played there monthly, so they were family too.
Right.
You know,
Right. Bands like Bacon.
bacon.
Who don't love bacon?
Love
Everybody
bacon.
loves bacon.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could put it on anything.
Yeah.
That's one of the bands you have played quite regularly up
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah. They don't play in the summer. They do a few other things in the summer, but they'll be back this month actually. Let me look. Now that I said that, sorry.
All right.
But they're coming back September 14th.
Nice.
September 14th,
Yeah.
Bacon live at the back bar. So
They
there-
did lose their bass player, Paul Pickett.
very
I'm
sad.
sure a lot of people know him. He's a great, great musician. But they're going to be ready with somebody.
Nice.
Sorry to
take
hear
his
for the
place.
loss of the bass player, and glad to hear that they're moving on though,
Right.
and got it under control. So
Now you mix it up pretty good there. Like on Thursday nights, you've got a DJ, right? DJ
Yeah.
Josh normally.
Yeah, DJ Josh.
So what's
He
a
ju-
Thursday night like at the back bar?
Thursday nights, more college kids.
Okay.
It'll start out with a mixture. They like to just hear that head. I don't even know what you call it.
Right. Their music.
Yeah, their music.
Right.
He does a good job. Now this is another one. A young kid. He's got a regular job, as they call it, because I guess my job isn't a regular job.
Right. That just means they have to finance their art. That's all they're really saying. Yeah.
I like the way she put it.
Right.
This is not a regular
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, I
I've
totally
never
get
had
that.
a regular job in my whole life. Then I don't.
No.
No.
People say that about bartender. You know, let me tell you, when I opened up the back bar, I also tend bar. I don't take money out of the bar.
Right.
I need to pay that debt. So I gave myself a job back first.
Oh yeah.
So that's where the regular job comes
Yeah,
in.
okay.
But Josh had come to me and he wanted to try being a DJ, and a friend of his was selling equipment. I said, heck yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, let me try it, Marion. Just pay me drinks. Heck yeah, I'll do that.
I don't cost me
Yeah.
much.
So I did, and he's doing a great job.
Nice.
And he's learning, and,
Right.
you know,
Got
Yeah.
a show coming together.
yeah, he's got a lot of friends that show up to support him.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
But you'll go all different directions from there. Another band that plays there quite a bit that you like is Kapow. What are
Kapow.
they? Yeah, what are they like?
they are just full of energy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tony Bunch.
Okay.
He's a singer. And he just has all kinds of ideas. Like we're doing a costume party, back to school costume party this Saturday. And we're giving away tonight, just for coming into the bar, tickets for a chance to win a mini Stag refrigerator, which every college kid needs.
Right.
And it looks like a safe. And
pretty
then we also have some derby tickets for over at Gateway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's cool. All kinds of different stuff going on now.
Tricycle races tonight.
Now, would you say Kapow would be like a dance band? Do people dance?
Oh yeah,
there?
rock and roll. He brings out a beer bong thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
Party-
college
it's a
town.
party band.
That's
oh yeah,
college
he is a
town.
party band.
Yeah.
And he gets the crowd going. He throws out boas, puts whipped cream in your mouth.
Yeah.
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 I
Wait
kind
a
of want to
minute, I
go
don't-
see Kapow now.
Yeah.
You should come
I like
Saturday.
whipped cream.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did my first beer bong in Edwardsville.
Probably.
Off of a balcony in one of them college, like apartment buildings or whatever they are.
In one of those lofts.
Yeah.
Ah, good times.
So it's good to hear they're still doing beer bongs in Edwardsville. I'm glad to hear that.
I think he's the only one.
Okay.
Well, good for Tony.
Yeah.
Good for Tony.
Now, is
That's it. That's it.
is it just the back bar? Is it the whole building? How much of the building are you using?
I am using just the back bar, and I have a patio also.
Okay. So the band's set up inside,
I have a
outside?
stage inside. And on Sundays, we do outside bands, duos usually, or trios, 5 to 8.
Right. Now, is there food there or?
No food.
Okay.
You can bring in your own.
Nice.
I have people coming in for birthday parties. They bring in their own stuff. I do have banquet tables, tablecloths, and I'll get paper plates and stuff for you. But menus from local businesses are at the bar, so if you want to order from there, you can also do that.
Right. What if Pigpen shows up with a brown bag with a sandwich in it? You gonna
You
let him
better
in?
share.
Oh, you better share.
Because I'm usually hungry.
I'll share my sandwich with you. I think you're all right. You can even have half my chips.
Oh, now you're pushing it.
Oh, that's good.
But that's nice. So you don't offer food, but you don't discourage people from bringing in
Absolutely.
A brown bag sandwich or ordering, like you say, you have menus from the local businesses to order to help. That's nice that you're supporting the other local businesses.
Right, and they love it.
Hey, all the little local businesses support each other. Makes a community of local businesses.
Isn't our friend Bigelos right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigelos Bistro,
We know them.
right down the road there. Yep.
Yeah.
Get you some pulled pork.
There you go. Head on over and check out the bar at the back bar, or check out the band
You
at the
go
back
up.
bar.
You go up on a Friday night, watch Matt Taul play,
Right.
and eat at Bigelos, and then just wander or stagger down
Yeah.
to the back bar
Yeah.
and get your drunk on, and then Uber home. I don't know.
Yeah. Or we'll give you a ride home.
Oh, yeah?
I just whistle and a horse comes and picks me up wherever I
Wow.
am, like a Lone Ranger or something.
Space horse, probably.
Well, you got the Wildy Theater right next door,
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So you've
Man,
got
Al
lots
Ca-
of musicians.
Al Canal doing a great job at the Wildy Theater. That's
Yeah.
an outstanding summer up there.
And then everyone knows the Stagger's been there forever.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Butch up there doing the open mics on Sunday, and
Yeah, Butch
great.
Moore.
Butch Moore.
And I think they just had Grateful Dead playing up there's a cover band.
Yeah.
Was it Goose Miller? I can't remember. I do
Yeah.
remember seeing one of the local Dead bands playing up there.
Nice
so.
variety, but I imagine a lot of those guys, they come over to the back bar, and you know those musicians as well, and
Oh, yeah.
play over there too, huh?
Absolutely.
So, it's a little
Good
family
scene, good
on that
scene.
corner, yeah.
Yep.
That's a cool little corner for just hanging out for the whole night.
And Mojo Music right there.
You'll walk to each one of them, yeah.
Yeah, walk in and say
Everything's
hi to,
in
yeah.
walking distance.
Walk in, say hi to Tom Pullen, buy a guitar, and then head to the back bar.
Jeez.
Hey, and sit on stage and play.
Yeah.
Take that guitar, go down and play a gig, man. Marion will give you a chance.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's
Play for drinks.
I like it. I love to play for drinks.
that right there is what perked my ears up, guys. And you know, a lot of musicians listen to this show, and that's why we have the bar owners and the people who book the shows at the bars in, because here's what these guys are going to love to hear, and that is Marion is going to give you a chance to prove yourself. She's not going to turn you away. You want an opportunity, she's going to give it, and those are our favorite people. Reminds me of our mom, Jody Hopper, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Put a guitar in everyone's hand.
Right.
Just to see if they could play it.
And I see that attitude in Marion. She's going to give you an opportunity. And I've seen it in the bookings that you've done because some of the original bands that we've had on here have went up there and played at the back bar and done their thing. I've seen you do multiple band shows up there. So if a band can't cover the whole night, they bring another band, get two bands going. And so you seem pretty open to just about anything. Is that true? Or?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody wants a gig, how do they get a hold of you?
He needs to be put in a corner.
He does.
I'm keeping my mouth shut. Just because my mind thinks it doesn't mean we have to respond to it.
There's some kind of psychic thing going on there. But anyways.
If you go on Facebook and just message me, go to the back bar on Facebook and message me.
Right.
And I usually ask for them to give me some kind of YouTube, showing me at least one song. And it's always nice if they just would say how many's in the band and how much they're going to charge instead of me having to ask.
Right.
I would prefer that.
Yeah, but let's save that second call.
Yeah. Let's just get it over with.
Now, if a band decides just to stop in and try to catch you there, you're going to be pretty busy, but...
No, they do.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. So I guess that's another way they can do it.
Yeah,
just
I'm
stop
there
in and check
most
the
of the
place
time.
out. Which is what I recommend, Pigpen. I mean, if you're going to play a place, you got to
Yeah.
visit it. You got to go in and get an idea of what you're going to do if you do play the place and then get to know the people there. And
Right.
that's going to change everything right off the bat. So,
I would suggest not only that the musicians just stop in, if you're just a drinker,
Right.
stop in and check it out.
Right.
Man, or a music lover. So there you go.
Yeah. All the above.
Everybody.
Right?
Right. I
So-
got nothing. I'm trying to stay as quiet as I can.
Right? So the Facebook page is the main location. You just search the back bar, Edwardsville, Facebook, and you'll probably come up with your place, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so they can just message you on there, and they can find out how to get there and all that good stuff. Any other locations where they might find out more about the back bar? Got a phone number you want to give out to the place?
Yeah, it's 618-692-5115.
Okay. That's always a good way to see what's going on. Just call them up.
Yeah.
692 what was it?
51.
55.
No.
I didn't write it down.
5115. Well, you had me thinking I had
One
it
more
wrong.
time. What was it? 692
692
5115.
5115.
Just to get it straight.
That's how we repeat things on this show. So everyone knows it now. 5115.
You got it.
The old 692 out of Edwardsville, right?
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, we want to really appreciate you doing what you're doing, not letting that place just go to the slums or whatever, and
Or turn into a lawyer's office.
right. Yeah, I mean, the world needs a place to party, and the kids need a place to go play music and listen to music and meet their girlfriend or boyfriend, future
Right.
wife, husband, whatever, So thanks.
And the lawyers need a place to party.
The lawyers
Take a break.
They do. They do come
Listen,
in there.
And the judges probably need to take a
It's
break
a
too.
proven fact that if you are a lawyer or a judge, you have to drink more than the average person. I don't know
Right.
how the statistics have come about, but I don't know if it's to live with the decisions you've made or what.
Well, what better place than the back bar?
What better place? Just walk on across. I know a lot of you lawyers up there in Edwardsville. Too many judges. You should all go drink at the back bar.
He
It'd be
really
nice.
does. No, that's actually not fake news there.
That is the first time I've said the truth all night. Too many lawyers and judges.
No one's going to believe it, though. That's good. That's good.
So thanks so much, Marion Gilson, and owner of the back bar. And thanks for doing it. Thanks for your year work, putting it together, all the time and money. And we wish you the most success and luck with your business.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, and listen up, folks. Okay, I know there's a lot of bands out there who struggle to make it. This is what Marion's doing with her new bar experience. She's learning how to start with nothing and grow a business. So you know what that means, guys. Get out there and support her. Stop in and have a beer and say thanks for doing this, at least.
Absolutely. If
And if everybody who listens, that's about 80,000 people, stop in and have
at
a beer.
at any given moment.
Okay, now we're into the fake news. Anyway.
I'm going to say over 100K.
Okay.
At any given, at every quarter hour.
Well, until you brought the K up, I was okay with it. But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks again, Marion. And like Dennis was saying, if you don't go support the venues, they're going to go away. So everybody get out and support all the local music and art.
Especially the Back Bar in Edwardsville. And thanks once again for coming in.
Thank you so much.
All right,
It was fun.
we'll be back with more Riverbend talent brought to you by Halpin Music Company. Support them too because they keep us going. And call up Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. He supports us, and we need you to support him as well. We'll be back with more Riverbend talent after this.
And now more.
Riverbend Talent.
With Dennis Laird and Pigpen on 94.3 FM, The Big Z.
Dennis back with you, Pigpen as well. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. What's happening? Hey, wasn't that was neat with Marion, man. I'm super happy for her to have bought the back bar.
Right on.
After
yeah.
all those years of working there to now get her chance to be at the helm. So
Yes.
happy for her. And all you bands that want to play in the back bar, you know what to do now. Get a hold of Marion.
Well, and it's just like we talked with bands, and we mentioned it in that interview that, you know, she's starting from scratch just like we did when we started our band. She had never managed to, well, she
She's
worked
managed
as a
and-
manager, but
yeah.
owned a club and
Never
done the
owned.
whole, and really threw it all in and just went for it. And there's something to be said for that alone.
Yeah, to have the gumption to cash all your chips in and take a shot at whatever it is you want to do, man. That's what everybody should do.
Right.
Everybody should do it. So,
Also with us is Eric Hensley.
hey,
We're talking to him because he's going to be doing Songwriters on the Round.
yeah.
September 14th down at Jacoby's Art Center.
And real quick, we've talked about the songwriters in the round. We've had Hope Mater and Matt Taul, and we've had Fritz Beer, several people on that have been a part of that. Just so if you're listening and you don't know what it is, they get 3 local songwriters to go down to Jacoby's. And it's a very sort of intimate setting. They're going to play their songs for you and talk about the song. So I believe there might even be a Q&A area where you can ask, hey, that song, it reminds me of my grandma. Is that about my grandma? Do you know my grandma, Eric? Because it seems like you wrote that about her Afghan. I don't know what, I don't know. But that pretty neat. It's really neat, intimate thing that they got going down there. So if you're really into local songwriters, man, it's a great time to get out and go downtown to Jacoby's. How lucky are we to have Jacoby's? We were just talking about that.
Oh yeah, I think Jacoby's great for the community. I've been able to play. I played down there one time before. It's nice. You mentioned this. People come down there and they listen to music or they watch dance. They go down there for the presentation. So it's not like a bar atmosphere.
Right.
Although there are adult beverages, but it is obviously it's a gallery.
Yeah, people are there. The music, the dancing, the art, whatever it is that's there is not the background to a conversation that you're having about what happened at work Thursday. It's sort of the centerpiece, and there are even bars in the area that are set up like that. The back room down there has the extra room. Stagger in again. They've been open forever, and when you go up there, if you want to talk to your friends about what's going on, man, stay up front by the bar. But as soon as you walk through that door into the music room, there's a hush that falls, and people are listening to the music, and I love that, man.
Absolutely.
People are in tune to it, so I'm happy to see they got you down there. Who else is down there? I thought I had it wrote in front
They're
of me.
going to have Stephanie Stewart and Gavin M.
There we go. Stephanie Stewart,
Right.
Gavin M, and Eric Hensley.
Right.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Stephanie Stewart. She is from the St. Louis area, and she's just great. She's of course writes her own songs, and I play with her in another band called Cave States, where it's not our band, but we're kind of like just players in it, and that's how I met her and heard some of her songs, and so I'm excited that she'll be joining us.
What was the band called? Cave States?
Cave States.
Cave States, nice.
Yes.
And that's all like St. Louis, Alton area type folks? In that,
It's 2 main songwriters, Danny Catherine or Chris Graybo. So it's their band,
Nice.
and we play occasionally with them. So, matter of fact, we're playing Tower Grove Park. As a matter of fact,
Nice.
oh gosh, I think the 28th. That'll be the 28th of September.
Excellent.
So
you're part of the accompaniment.
That's right. I play the bass guitar for them.
Nice.
And Stephanie sings with them. So yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And what about Gavin M? You familiar with Gavin M?
Not as much so, but I've heard great things.
Okay.
So much that now I'm nervous.
I like it. I get to go first, right? I don't want to go on after that guy.
Right. No, I'm nervous about, I mean, I'm looking forward to the show, but yeah, I've never experienced something like that where you're up there with two other musicians. I've watched it, and it's a really enjoyable experience. Like, I enjoy seeing a show like that.
Yeah.
But I've never participated in something like that before. So I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, it's a little bit different than doing a set
gig
by yourself. Yeah. Sure.
So I was on Bandcamp earlier today.
Okay.
And I was checking out the names and titles, Volume 1.
Yes.
Release.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I heard a female voice on there. Now I'm curious, was that Stephanie on that? I thought it was, unless you were just doing a great female backing vocal. Totally fooled me.
I think the answer is it was possibly me.
Awesome.
Yes. Okay.
That's great.
I do that too.
I'm not for certain, but falsetto.
Yeah. Well, it caught me off guard because I'm listening to it.
Could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Well, since we're on the subject of names and titles, so I did a search. I'm looking for information on you guys, very limited.
Right.
And so I would just happen to be going through Facebook, and you type something in, right? And I see this post from 33 on the Needle. I believe Todd made the post, and he's like, "Oh, you got to check out Eric Hensley and names and titles that rock the hops."
Okay.
So that was this past Rock the Hops.
I did not play
that was an old one.
a year ago.
Okay.
Not this.
Because I look at the thing, and then in the
2018.
same slot you guys were in
Yeah.
was the band Not Found, which last week when we were doing
That's right.
our research, we couldn't find anything on them either. And I'm like, this is awful ironic. The names and titles is hard to find, and so is Not Found, who's in the same time slot, same venue,
Really?
back-to-back Rock the Hops. I'm like,
Let me get this straight. You're telling me you couldn't find information about a band whose name is called
Not Found.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very ironic.
Could be intentional. Now, with mine, is, how earlier I said I don't understand how to make money in music. I mean, names and titles it's always kind of been like, my home recording.
Right.
I don't know. I don't go looking for shows. I don't.
Right.
I kind of, at this point, I'm 78 years old.
Right.
And I'm just doing it for fun now.
You look really good for 78. I want to say that.
The key is home recording.
Yeah.
So I don't advertise. I guess I don't really have a website.
And
I did decide, because I've recorded a lot of music. I think maybe approaching 1,000 songs.
Wow, nice.
200 of them are pretty good.
That's pretty good, actually.
Great. That's fabulous, man. If you got two that are pretty good, I'm
well, actually, you don't have any of it, do you?
I do, actually.
Oh, no, never mind. My point is, I guess I'm kind of shy about sharing music, I guess.
Okay. That's fair. Now, see, that's where I was going to go with this, and that's why I had to ask the question, who's doing the backing vocals, because I get to the names and titles, Volume 1, songs listed, and information, nothing.
Oh, well,
who did this? I'm not sure. Who's playing what? I have no idea. It's just kind of there, right?
All Eric.
And so that's why I have to ask.
Also, I think mystery is an appealing trait. No one really knows,
right?
There's some people, and so by default, that's my answer.
There you
mystery
go. That's good.
Will
that's
intrigue people to.
You got to know what to leave in and what to leave out.
Right.
Now
but I should say, if you go to each song and hit info, because I do want to give credit to people who've helped me out.
Here we go.
Then you can find who played with me on these.
I missed that part. See, I was in a hurry,
Click on
like
it and
most
see the
streaming
singers.
guys do.
Says here was Marge Simpson.
I didn't.
Erica Hensley.
So it's on each track. There you go. Man.
Yes.
I've learned something. So.
We've all learned something.
Although when you were bringing up
My work is
mysteries,
done
I'm
here.
like, are we going conspiracy theories? Because I'm getting excited. Here we are.
Well, if that.
Well, you know me.
Hey, so
I think the thing is, come to the Songwriters in the
There you
round
go.
on the 14th,
now we're
and
talking.
all the mysteries will be solved.
No, I like that.
Now we're talking. So
Right.
should we talk about what's happening
We should.
tomorrow
We
night?
should. We should. We should.
We're running out of time
We should
here.
get into the weekend here.
I feel like we should do something.
Eric's going to stick around with us.
Oh,
And,
yeah. Well, let's fly through this.
well, the Bethalto Homecoming is this weekend. It's the 100th annual Bethalto Homecoming, and that got started by they threw a big event back in 1919 for the military folks coming over.
Wow.
So I found that out.
100th annual.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Whiskey Dixon going to do it at 7 p.m. at the Bethalto Homecoming, and right across the street. See, at the Laux Brickhouse, which isn't technically the Bethalto Homecoming, but if
it's
you've
across
ever
the
been
street.
there, right,
Yeah.
you got two beer tents. You got one on the Legion side there, right, where the stage is, and then you've got the one across the street,
Which is known as Laux Brickhouse.
That's right, and that's where our buddies HOOKiE are going to be playing.
Matt Taul is going to be up at Bigelos Bistro. He's there every Friday from 6 to 9 p.m.
And then the Fargon Brothers is 8 o'clock at Chez, Marilyns on Friday night. Mila and Jake, 8 p.m. at Morrison's Irish Pub.
We got Flip the Frog at 8 p.m. is happening at Bluff City Grill.
Right, Brad and Jerry, 8 p.m. at the Franchise in Wood River.
Doc Holiday's 9:30 at the Pump House in Wood River.
All right, up at the Loading Dock, right, this weekend.
Yeah.
Butch Wax and the Hollywoods, 7
we
p.m.
go.
at the Loading Docks. $10 to see Butch Wax and the Hollywoods.
Well,
It's an 8-piece band from St. Louis. Recently voted the #1 band in Missouri.
wow. Okay.
So
The name hits a chord with me. When I was like 15, I had a flat top and I had to put Butch Wax on it.
Really?
It was the stuff that you put on your flat top. I don't know.
I'd pay $12 for that show.
Okay.
I would
Just
pay
side
tw-
note.
Just so you know, Eric Hensley willing to throw out dozens of dollars, or a dozen, an even
me down
dozen,
for a
an
dozen.
even
Right.
dozen. So there we go.
And I'm pretty sure if you go to the Names and Titles Bandcamp site, that you can pay what you want for his songs. I'm pretty sure that's
Is
how
that
it's set
right?
up. I'm pretty sure that's how you have it set up. That's how we have it set up, which I think is just a cool thing. Pay whatever you want.
Yeah, right. That is, yeah. If you're willing to give me a shiny nickel, I will take that shiny nickel.
$100.
I'm not
That's
even going
fine,
to tell
too.
you guys how much some people have paid for it.
Oh, don't. We need
Another
a mystery.
mystery.
We need a mystery.
Another mystery for next for the show.
I hope
There we go.
somebody goes, I was listening to you on the radio, and now I want to know.
I'll tell them. I'll tell them how much people have paid. Come on down to the show.
Mystery solved.
He's willing to pay $12 to see Butch Wax. Hey, Butch and Allen 5 to 8, and the Mondin band at 9 p.m. at Stagger in again on Friday night.
That's Friday night. Gypsy going to be doing the Wildy Theater all weekend. Now, Gypsy's going to be doing a benefit while they're in town.
Excellent.
They're raising money for Special Olympics. The first show is going to be Friday night at the Wildy, and they'll do 2 shows on Saturday. I think 1 on Sunday, but we'll get to that.
Excellent.
Laney and Julie, 6 p.m. at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. Pat Jones at the Hog Pit on Friday night at 6 p.m. Robbie Miles up at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville at 7 o'clock. Dead Man's Bridge, 7 o'clock at the Tri-County Rod and Gun Club in Brighton.
Got Tommy Karaoke Circus 9 p.m. at the Third Shoot in Alton, a new venue.
Rockin' Horse Trio, 8 p.m. at the Cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon. That's just Friday night.
That wraps up our Friday. So Saturday's a big night here
Right.
in downtown Alton. The Lighthouse Studios grand opening. Finally, after all this time, the new building opening. Going to have a party with Junior Clooney, the Mind Frames, Ian Whitmore. Oh, Ian Whitmore's actually going to be at Jacoby's across the street. So there you go.
You remember recording your first demo, Eric, with Autumn Clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a recording studio in town. How cool is that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
Okay, well,
Do
the
you
first
remember?
one, listen to this. We rented a 4-track
Nice. We all
machine
did.
Nice.
from Soundspot, Halpin.
Okay,
What,
yeah,
what was it called?
Soundspot, yep.
That's it.
Soundspot, Kosher Clay, a guy named Clay. and we spent a weekend recording our demo.
That's how you did it.
go.
Yeah.
Clay ended up buying the record store
That-
across
that's
from
right.
the
That's right.
from the college out there. So there you go. Throw the Horns, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Bethalto Homecoming.
Right, and that's at the Bethalto Homecoming across the street at the Laux Brickhouse will be Borderline. Did you mention Lanny and Julie being down at the old bakery?
I
brewery
might have skipped them.
on
Thanks for
Saturday?
hitting that. Yeah, Laney and Julie at the old bakery brewery.
Right,
We got HOOKiE at Chez, Marion.
right. Rivertown, 5 o'clock at the Brown Bag Bistro in Alton.
Got Fireball, 9:30 at Third Shoot in Alton.
The Owls are going to do Bakers in Hale at 7 o'clock on Saturday night.
Blackwater Acoustic at 5 p.m. and then Super Jam at 9 p.m. at the Pump House Saturday night.
You know, at Super Jam's like the big show they used to have at Busch Stadium. Remember that?
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar got on top of his Trans Am and played his guitar.
I thought that was the old Checker Dome they used to
I don't
do
know.
those. Yeah, the old Checker Dome, man.
I don't even know.
Saw some good shows there. Terry Beck, 3 to 7 p.m. at the Grafton Winery on Saturday evening.
Fry Brown Band, 1 p.m. and TBD, my favorite band, 6 p.m. at the Hog Pit.
The Jorils.
I catch those guys everywhere.
I do too. I caught TDB. I had to go to the clinic and get the Jorils at 6 p.m. at the loading dock on Saturday night.
The Bull's Eye Band, 3 to 7 at Michael Rose's Cabana Bar across the river at Portage de Sioux.
Jason David Cooper, 5 to 8 p.m. And then Ian Lith at 9 p.m. at the Stagger Inn again on Saturday evening.
That's if you got his name right.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And
Jason, he's going to find me and
He will. You
My
should-
name is Leith, not Leith. I don't know. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry, Ian. Anyway,
You're getting it all messed up.
Infringement will be at the back bar at 9
o'clock,
p.m.
On Saturday. Lead Sled, 7 o'clock at the Grafton Oyster Bar. DJ Tommy Karaoke Circus, 7 p.m. at Third Shoot in Grafton on Saturday.
We got the Liquid Dolls, 9:30 p.m. at Patrick's Bar in Granite City.
That's the old Eddie's. And then Gypsy doing one of two shows at the Wild E at 2 o'clock, the second one at 8 o'clock for the Special Olympics fundraiser.
Marty Powell, 2 p.m. at the Cabin at Judy's Creek in Glen Carbon.
Power Trip getting it back to go, headed up to the corner Keg and Highland. Those guys still around.
Nice. Many years for those guys. Liquid Doll, 9:30 p.m. at Patrick's Bar. I believe I already said that. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go on and say Far Gone Brothers, 4 to 8 p.m. at Grafton Pub.
Sam and Trini at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville. Hopefully I
Finishes
got that
up
name
our
right.
Saturday.
And then Sunday, Steve Ewing doing 6 to 10 at the 100th annual Bethalto Homecoming.
Nice. We got Lady Luck at Roper's at 6 p.m.
Right, Jack Twesden, 1 o'clock at the Brown Bag Bistro on Sunday.
Mondin Band, 10 p.m. every Sunday at Mike's 10 Pin.
And they have an open mic every Sunday at the Stagger Inn again in Edwardsville. They also do it on Wednesday nights.
Butch Moore at the back bar, which he does the 9 p.m. Stagger Inn
Yeah,
again.
he's
That
gonna
is
be
Butch.
busy,
So he's
yeah.
going to be busy. He's going to do the back bar at 5 p.m. and then walk up to Stagger Inn and do his open mic night.
Right, Billy Peak, 2 to 6 p.m. at the Grafton Winery.
We got the Yacht Rockers, 3 p.m. at the loading dock.
Right, HOOKiE, 7 o'clock at the Grafton Oyster Bar.
Flipside, 2 p.m. at Wild Pickens in Chesterfield.
Right, Beowulf, still going. 9:30 p.m. at the Pump House in Wood River.
Just was at one of the Beowulf members' houses over the weekend. Was
Nice.
talking to them. We're gonna get those guys in and talk to
Finally,
them. So,
can't wait.
Yeah, it was just hanging out. Anyway, Whiskey Revolution, 1 p.m. at the Hog Pit in Grafton.
Oh, I want you to do the next one.
Shock the Junkie. Shock the Junkie, 2 p.m. at the Cabin at the Creek in Glen Carbon. Okay, Shock the Junkie. It's a new one to me. I've not heard that one, but
Pigpen does not proofread, Eric.
I know. I do
set
all
him
this
up
cold.
each week with a good band name, you know?
I like that
You
one.
gotta be ready for Shock the Junkie.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
I always want to be called the Functional Addicts, and my wife just won't go for it. So anyway, whatever.
Mondin Band 3 to 7 at Mike LaRosa's on Sunday before they go down to Mike's 10 Pin.
There you go.
Double duty.
John Joseph Shanahan, 2 p.m. at the Third Shoot in Grafton.
And then Bud Summers, 4 o'clock at the Tri-County Ride and Gun Club. But, you know, it's Labor Day weekend, so we still got Monday to deal with.
All right. Every Monday at the back room of the Bottle and Barrel, there's an open mic
Right.
night hosted by the Extraordinary Blues Band.
Bethalto Homecoming continues on Monday from 4 to 8 nightlife there.
Hill Williams every Monday at Chez, Maryland at 6 p.m.
Right, and the Mondin Band at 2 o'clock at the loading dock on Monday.
Dawn Turlington 1 to 5 at the Grafton Winery.
And the Grand Band from 1 to 5 at the Hog Pit.
That's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, that's a little mix on Labor Day. I think a lot of the bars said, "Hey, it's Labor Day. Let's take a break."
Yeah.
But
still 4 pages there of stuff going on this side of the river other than Portage to Sioux.
Right.
And so just, let's admit we got a pretty good scene going on here.
So we've been talking to Eric Hensley tonight, and thanks for stopping in, Eric. And,
thanks for having me.
And telling people not to go listen to Names and Titles.
No, you should. You should try and break the record for most money spent on one of my songs.
Right. You're into making money.
This is my attempt.
Okay. He said he hasn't figured out. That doesn't mean he stopped trying. He's still trying, man.
Right.
Please,
I'm just not good at it.
Somebody go give hundreds and hundreds of dollars for one of his songs so he can, have a good weekend. I don't know. Hey, we look forward to seeing you.
Listen to it for free.
We look forward to seeing you down at Songwriters and
Thank
the
you.
Round at Jacoby's. That's going to be a great evening down there. And,
September 14th,
September
down at
14th.
Jacoby's Art Center with Stephanie Stewart and Gavin M. Ought to be a good time. And you can answer all the tough questions you're going to get now from being on this show.
Yeah. That's fine. Come on down. I'll answer them. I've got a Michael Bolton story
Nice.
that I'm going to share.
I don't know if there's going to be enough room to get all the people in there now.
Right.
I mean,
Listen,
I guess
hold on. What's your favorite Michael Bolton album?
Well,
Because I celebrated.
kind of giving
I
away a
celebrated
little bit
his
of the
entire
story.
collection.
Okay, well,
I'm afraid to say.
mysteries, Yeah.
Great.
Back to the mystery machine.
Well, everybody get down to Jacoby's and listen to Eric tell his Michael Bolton story and play his songs along with Stephanie Stewart and Gavin M. Also, big thanks to Marion Gilson, who was here from the back bar, who came in and shared her story with us. And we look forward to having you back on with us again real soon, Eric.
Right on.
Thanks. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Can I play one of your songs as we leave?
Let's do
Sure.
it.
I'm going to play More.
Okay.
Because that's the second song. Because after you hear the first song, you want more.
That's right. So it's recorded. Oh, yes.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I have. This is like a movie
you're just-
clip.
Oh, okay.
It's a movie clip. This
Okay.
is the scene where I want more.
Okay. Nice. All right, this is Names and Titles as we go out here on Riverbend Talent. Thanks for listening in, everybody. Make sure you get out there and support local music and art and support our sponsors, Halpin Music Company, Mr. Matt Van Voorhis, Macias Insurance. All you got to do is go to their Facebook page and give them a like.
Right on.
And
Easy
they'll
enough.
love that, yeah.
Easy enough.
Let's listen to more from Names and Titles as
Thanks
we
again, Eric.
wrap up.
Thank you.
Riverbend Talent. Talk to you guys next week when our guest will be Pigpen.
Gordo.
Right.
Jason Gordon.
Right. All right. We're out.
We can skim the pages or ask the ages. Birds won't stay in broken cages. A few missing bars, you can bet I'm gonna try and fly. But first things first, let's get together and